Hello, dear friends. My friend Eva Lunella, who is the best astrologer I know, has just said on her channel that the exit from the tunnel would begin in the year 24 and that the 25th would be glorious, according to the position of the stars. But expect to see something great before these years, although there are limitations. All the sources indicate that the tree would be about to fall, because the fruit would be ripe. But there is nothing certain in the office of the prophet, but signs, signals, and indications that everything is going smoothly, in spite of deceptive appearances. It is easy to mock the one who is supposedly wrong, but it is not easy to access his luminous intuitions. Opinion piece. The coming down. Believe in the impossible. No more cowardice. If you don't believe it, you don't create it. There will be no world war. Chaotic and fun times. America would be the first domino. Watch events like a game. New technologies will make life easier. Animals sense the coming change. Law and order will be restored worldwide. No message from heaven says we do nothing. China overtakes the USA as the world's richest country. Massive protests in Vienna against confinement. Polar cold and snow to hit Spain starting Monday. Nestlé invests in the development of vegan chicken meat. Russia sends diesel to US to help in fuel crisis. Humanitarian combat standoff on Poland-Belarus border. Giant frog smoothie, the miracle elixir that threatens Lake Titicaca amphibian. Let's start. The time of fear is over. Amazing new technologies will come online, technologies that will set humankind on a new trajectory. In truth, they are not new technologies, but rather hidden and suppressed. The last thing the dark side of any great story wants is for the heroes to discover and achieve their true power. The same is true of the story of life on Earth and throughout the cosmos. The world will soon discover that there is more wealth and abundance in this wonderful blue marble than we have been told. Poverty, lack, misery, strife, famine, war, disease, pain, despair, and death, all will pass into history, giving way to a golden dawn of abundance and joy, healing technologies, new forms of energy and propulsion, wealth and prosperity, twin flames and destiny fulfillment, hope and courage, laughter and dance, discovery and adventure. Over the precipice of an unknown frontier, doubt will give way to glorious hope, freed from the knowledge that humankind is finally taking its rightful place in the universe, leading the way for all life forms and beings to see the beacon in the darkness, lighting the way to find their way home. So, take your place, create new lives, spread joy and abundance, get on the music, climb a tree, swing with sea turtles, run through green hills, eat exotic foods, sail the deep blue seas, explore the cosmos, live the life you've always dreamed of, empower others to do the same, liberate entire nations, believe in the possible. Never look back. The bad guys hate the way we shine. Watching from a distance. Like a social game. Watching world events is like a social game, but it keeps us awake. The reality of who we are and where we are is the biggest lie of all. We have been exploring and encouraging people to expand their thinking in this regard. When you know, and you are not going to back down, and sense of the ridicule is like water off a duck's back. The end is near, and so is a new beginning. We are in the last 2 weeks of November, so something big has to break. Chaotic and Funny Times by Stefan. Thanks to social media, we know what's going on all over the world. Demonstrations everywhere. They are taking to the streets all over the world. They are showing the respective governments that they have lost. However, all those who still face the matrix, trying to buy time, take the path of least resistance, because it will not be long. Even the animal world senses that coming change and is in an inexplicable state of expectation. So, why should we not indulge in expectation, which we somehow perceive as a strange and inexplicable feeling? The champagne is cold. The forces are in well position. What could happen? The wait is over for humankind to decide if it will choose to do the work of rising to experience the fifth dimensional vibrational frequency of the galaxy. The light has won, establishing the new parameters of life on Mother Earth as galactic beings, galactic citizens. The mob hides in bunkers when war is declared. What we are witnessing is the fall of the old God power structure, because evil is global. The US would be the first domino to fall. The dark side has lost control of the narrative. They know they lost, but they will push something else. Scavino says everything is about to fall. Petition. The petition for direct divine intervention in the planetary liberation process has been greatly accelerated in recent days, even though they are afraid that we will awaken and remember our power. They fear that humankind will unite. A huge galactic wave will reach Earth, initiate change, and sweep away all manipulative systems. No one could survive if this wave hit the Earth with full force, because our physical body is not yet ready to receive such a high frequency instantly. That is why friendly civilizations have built energy structures that will allow this super-powerful wave to pass in several stages. In general, all this time high-frequency energy arrives on Earth, which changes everything, but very carefully and in doses, so that we are able to withstand it. If a person's level of consciousness is high, then he can accept a large and faster configuration. Rumors or news. Message from the Puffiness office. From the office of Puffiness, A senior transaction has been completed and all documents, approvals, codes, and cute fluffy cats are in order, and they have released the first test funds. We have a measure of success after the many battles with the bankers. According to Judy Bington, the historic bonuses have been paying out since Monday, November 8th, and would continue through the end of November, although the accounts were not yet liquid. She adds that the financial reset would be implemented by backing the world's currencies in active assets. Weather the storm. Hold on for Saint-Germain. Hold on to your mission. Hold on to who you are. Hold on to all that you know dear to your heart. Not to the old illusion, not to the old programming, but to the new programming, the new paradigm you are forming within yourself. Rise above fear, rise above the old programming, and know that you are now creating the new timeline, which will take us all through ascension. No, do not become ensconced in the old programming, in the old fear, in all that they could do. Know that they cannot do that. They are now being defeated in every way, in every direction. Even if you do not see it fully, know that it is happening. Many are being extracted from the planet in various ways, so that they can no longer control or try to maintain control. And even they know they have lost control, that they are now cornered animals and continue to fight. They cannot stop the truth from being seen, and the truth will set you free. And the truth is coming, and it is even here and now in many ways. So let the truth be known. Let the shadows be revealed by the light, for the light will illuminate the entire planet. There is a plan. There will be no world war. No nuclear device can explode in space. The intervention will be to restore law and order throughout the world. Declaration. Adamo declares victory. What I have to talk about today is victory, which may sound very strange to most of you, because the discrepancy between what seems to be happening and the victory I am talking about seems like a chance too big to jump. It seems as if your world has gone absolutely insane. Everything you took for granted before, the democratic nature of governance, you took that for granted. You thought your world, the world of commerce, was run or inhabited by corporations that existed to find out what you need in terms of products and services, and then provide them to you in exchange for the money which would spend to buy your products and services. You thought your utilities existed to serve and protect the public. These were things you took for granted. You thought that science existed in some sort of realm of ethics, integrity, and scientific rigor, intellectual honesty, and that science existed for the welfare of humankind. These kind of ideas seem to be true for quite some time. There is a cohort of humankind that doesn't see things this way because they are addicted to television and they just want to believe what they are told, and they would suffer cognitive dissonance to understand what is going on, and therefore they are attached to doing what they are told, and they expect things to work out well. World struggle. I talked to the wide-eyed cohort who look at the world with some shock and horror and wonder, what are we going to do? The fight for the new world order is happening in Australia, in Italy, in France, and very much in the US, all over the world. But these are really the parts of the world facing the battle. This is where the dominoes are intended to fall first. If these 4 dominoes fall, the rest of the world will fall into line more easily. The dark side has a desire to have control of the entire planet. They are not a monolithic organization. There is no headquarters somewhere where they sit around the table and agree, and listen to the president talk, and this sort of things. That's not what's happening. These are disparate groups that have common history somewhere far away in the mists of time, beyond what is normally recorded history. What I'm saying is that they are not operating in unison. They seem to be because they have all agreed to act now, but they are aware that a singularity is coming. They are aware that a major shift is about to occur, They are aware that this is happening. They are anything but unintelligent and uninformed. They have massive resources, capabilities to run simulations and observe the trajectory the world is on, and so on. They know they must act now. They cannot delay any longer, or they will completely lose everything they have worked for, which they believe will happen. Division. They are putting the planet under such pressure that people have to choose. It is not what they wanted. They just wanted everyone to do this, but without realizing this, because mistakes were made, because mistakes infiltrated. What is happening is that they are creating these two cohorts, fourth and fifth density beings, out of a third density collective. Because the evolution of consciousness must come to planet Earth, it must happen now. Eventually, your souls will go through the great healing, the great cleansing. Eventually, you will be released and you will be able to return to your path of light. The last thought I want to leave you with is, I am not inviting complacency. I am not saying, oh, don't worry, everything is under control. Everything is going to happen. Sit back. Don't do anything. Quite the contrary. I am inviting you to actively participate in this transformation. I invite you to self-responsibility. I invite you to take care of your body first and foremost. Read, think, and understand how you can be as responsible as possible for your body, how you can increase the frequency of your body. The most important thing you can do right now is to increase your frequency. It would be a mischievous interpretation as well as false to think that all the messages would tell us to sit back and do nothing. There is more to come, but for now, be courageous, reside in your connection to spirit, reside in your heart, because you are safe, you are loved, you are protected, and victory is on the way. Breaking news. Dollar rises. The dollar traded higher on Friday, especially against the euro, with traders focused on the relative speed at which major central banks are expected to respond to rising inflation by raising interest rates. Bags of cash fall on a freeway and the motorists rush to pick up the bills. However, the police want that they will have to return them. Various motorists caused a traffic jam Friday on Interstate 5 near the town of Carlsbad, California, when they stopped to pick up money that had fallen from a money truck. This is not helicopter money, but truck money. Russian fleet en route to US to help fight fuel crisis. The US is preparing to receive a bulk shipment of diesel from energy-rich Russia as Washington scrambles to cool the retail price of fuel, which recently hit its highest level since 2014. Some 2 million barrels of Russian diesel transported by 4 tankers are currently headed for the US East Coast. Europe. US patrol boats sent to Ukraine near Black Sea. A ship carrying 2 refitted former Coast Guard patrol boats designed to bolster Ukraine's navy transited the Dardanelles Strait on Saturday after Ukraine said it feared Russia may be preparing an attack. The European stock exchanges all ended Friday with declines. The Spanish Selective Index lost 1.68% this Friday to 8,753.2 points and was once again the red line of the European stock markets. On the same day, the Spanish index lost 8,900 and 8,800 points and recorded its worst week in a year. In the month, the Spanish selective index also lost 3.36%. Austria decides to extend confinement to the entire population as of Monday for 10 days, which could be 20. The Austrian government has ordered the entire population to jump through hoops as of February 1st. Tens of thousands of people, some 40,000 according to the police, protested Saturday in Vienna against the federal confinement starting Monday in Austria and against the compulsory thing. Belarus. Poland says it has prevented the entry of more than 200 migrants from Belarus in the last 24 hours. The Polish border guard said Saturday that more than 200 migrants have tried to cross the border from Belarus during the last 24 hours, where they have behaved hostile to security forces. Humanitarian combat rate on the border between Poland and Belarus. NGO and volunteer combat rate in the Polish town of Michalowo, near the border with Belarus, to help migrants stranded in no man's land. Donations from all over the country are arriving at the aid center, especially warm clothes, food and toys. Spain. The polar cold and snow will reach the peninsula from Monday. A mass of very cold air of polar origin will enter Spain on Monday, leaving snow and a sharp drop in temperatures. No more anonymity on the internet. The Popular Party has proposed making it compulsory to provide national identity document number in order to access social networks. China. China overtakes the US as the world's richest country. The US has been stripped of its title as the world's richest country, with China now occupying this coveted position. The change in the global wealth rankings was announced Monday in a report by consulting firm McKinsey & Co. China fines companies like Alibaba, Baidu and Tencent. China's State Administration of Market Regulation on Saturday fined several major companies for violating national anti-monopoly legislation, including tech giants Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, as well as e-commerce platform JD.com and Sunning. Curious. When iron had an extraterrestrial origin. The use of iron objects dates back to times when humans did not yet know how to melt iron. It came from space, from ferrous meteorites. According to the research of a Spanish historian, an origin that was recorded in the languages of ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia. The use of iron objects dates back to times when humans did not yet know how to melt it. Nestlé invests in the development of a vegan chicken meat with skin and bones. Nestlé has invested in a startup company that is trying to develop a chicken meat in a laboratory as realistically as possible, including fake skin and bones. Giant frog juice, the miraculous elixir that threatens the amphibian of Lake Titicaca. Thousands of frogs are collected for human consumption, especially on the Peruvian side, from where they are exported. They are also taken for the sale of frog juice, which is believed to be medicinal or to cure different problems. Frog juice consumption became popular in Peruvian towns such as Puno. In Bolivia, until a few years ago, there were street stalls selling frog juice in cities like Oruro or El Alto. People believe that it cures different diseases, even cancer. Or they say that when you have low intelligence, if you drink frog, it will help you to be smarter. Despite its fame as miraculous, frog meat is more of a risk, because many parasites that frogs transmit to humans have been found, such as salmonella, for example, And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.